Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. Let's go ahead and stand, and we will sing our first community song.
Hi, family. I'm going to sing a song that if you have been to any modern-day Christian churches, you might have heard. But I kind of retooled the lyrics to suit what felt right for me in my spirit and what I think might feel right for this community as well. There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. Nothing can compare to our living hope. Your presence, love. I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence, love. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your peace of God is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, love. Your presence, love. This is the first verse again. There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. Nothing can compare to our living hope. Your presence, love. I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence, love. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. The peace of God is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, love. Your presence, love. This is the bridge part. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the power of this goodness. Let us become more aware of this presence. Let us experience the power of this goodness. One more time, the Holy Spirit chorus. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. The peace of God is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, love. Thank you for singing that with me.
All right, and thank you, Jess, for that new community song. Well, welcome again to the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living, whether you are here in the sanctuary or you're joining us as part of our online community. We want you to know that wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. My name is Karen Blakely. I go by Rev K, and I am honored to be your host today. I see we have some little people like promptly on time with sparkly ears included. I just love that. Let's go ahead and just rub our hands together and send them off with some love and light. Just knowing that bright light that shines that is our children's church. All right. Well, every Sunday we like to start off by reminding ourselves of who we are and how we be in the world. We are a supportive, inclusive, spiritual community that celebrates all of life. And we do this by aspiring to live authentic spiritual lives through the practical applications of the teachings of science of mind. And to give you a taste of what those teachings are, we have a high-level summary of just 4 things that the science of mind teaches. First is that all thought is creative and influential. This is the good news and the bad news, right? Because it means that whatever we're thinking is what's beginning to outpicture in our world. It's also the good news because it means that whatever we're thinking is beginning to outpicture in the world. And so we have a degree of control over that as we co-create our lives with Spirit. Number 2 is that there is only God. That everything seen and unseen is the divine in action. It is that spark of light. And we know that evil and devilishness, just like the light when we flip on the light switch and walk into a dark room, evaporates, so too does that evil and devilishness that starts and stops in our minds, that we can turn a light on. Number 3 is that everything in our experience is either an expression of love or a call for love. And sometimes that call for love can take many forms, but we know that as we continue to outpicture and be that love in life itself, that we are wrapping our arms around the world and helping to uplevel that vibration of love on the entire planet. And number 4, one of my personal favorites, is that no matter what anybody told you when you were young, no matter what's happened to you, no matter that thing you did in the past that you are ashamed of or holding yourself guilty to, no matter what that little voice in your head keeps saying, what I know and what we know as a community is that each one of us is whole, perfect, and complete right now. Let's breathe that in. Yes. Always love to feel that wholeness and speak it into this room. We also love to welcome guests. So if you are feeling comfortable and brave, would you just raise your hand so we can just clap for you and just welcome you in? Woohoo! We've got one brave soul over here. I love it. Thank you for being brave. And if you would like, there is a sign-up sheet over there on the tall table, and you can sign up for our newsletter to learn about all of the amazing things that are happening here. And online, you'll have an opportunity. I'll tell you what our website is in just a moment, and you can sign up there as well. All right. And at this time, I'd like to invite Linda up. Would you help me out? I didn't get a candle lighter again. Seem to always forget that part. We light this candle, the inclusion candle, to celebrate the unity of all peoples, all faith, all beings, and all life, honoring the infinity of oneness as all creation, seen and unseen. This candle reminds us of the light of Spirit within each one of us. And even when it is grumpy, it is still there. And it is shining brightly. It just sometimes takes a little more effort to get through all of those obstacles that are in our way to let our divine light out. So we got the light lit? All right. Perfect. Oh, thank you both so much for your help on lighting that inclusion candle. It's proof that there is no obstacle in our path to lighting our light. We are also a praying community, and so you will find lavender prayer request sheets in the back pockets of all of the chairs. And if there is something on your heart or weighing on your mind that you need to hear the truth of who and whose you are, come pray with us. Rev Mitch is our practitioner of the day today, so you can pray with him after service. We also love to celebrate, so if there's something joyful in your life that you'd like to claim and know more of, we can pray for you with that too. So you can put those the prayer request sheets in that wooden box that's just to the left of the door. And if you are joining us from our online community, you can go to our website. It's sierracenter.org, and you'll click on spiritual support and then prayer, and then one of our practitioners will reach out to you. All right, and now I want to invite Katie up for our announcements.
Hello. Okay, the Board of Trustees meeting. Oh, yay. Yay. The Board of Trustees meeting will be today after service. Each and every one of you is welcome to attend. The Sacred Dance Circle is tomorrow, Monday, April 20th, from 10:30 to noon. Please arrive at 10:15 a.m. RSVPs are appreciated. Judy's phone number is on the flyer in the foyer. We are taking teens to camp. Sierra Center is sending teens ages 13 to 18 to CSL Camp in Oregon, July 11th through 17th. See Rev Mitch for more information. We are also looking for volunteers to help staff our booth at the Recreation Fair on April 25th, next Sunday, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. This year's event will be held at the fairgrounds. Sign-ups are in the foyer. Dr. Hazel Grace Yates returns on April 25th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for a deeper dive into their very popular Art of Repair workshop. This one is titled The First Steps to Repair. In this 4-hour workshop, you'll practice the first 3 steps of the 6-step repair process: resourcing, empathy, and permission. Requested $30 to $60 love offering. No one is turned away for lack of funds. You can scan the QR code on the flyer to register. Join us for a Sacred Healing Circle, a time of prayer, intention, and collective support, facilitated by the wonderful Rev Mitch, immediately following service on Sunday, April 26th. Open to all seeking comfort, renewal, or peace during life's journey. Save the date for the upcoming workshop, Marketing with Heart, Creative Ways to Remember, facilitated by Elise Gregoire. Yes. Director of Audiology, Saturday, May 2nd from 1 to 2:30. Learn how to grow your business or passion project through thoughtful, creative marketing that actually connects you with those you want to serve. $10 suggested love offering. The Advanced Alternatives to Violence workshop will be held May 16th and 23rd from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call Diane Maisler, or there is a sign-up sheet in the foyer. She brings fantastic food, so just saying. We are planning. Oh, Diane. Diane would like to say more about that.
I didn't know I had an announcement. The advanced workshop is for anyone who has taken the basic workshop and either wants more of it or wants to become a facilitator. We have, I think, 6 or 7 facilitators coming down the pike, but we need more so we can do more at the jail. So please come if you've been to a basic.
Talk to you if they're interested.
Talk to me if you're interested. And I think we have flyers, thanks to Chana. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we are planning a rummage sale this June to support our Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. The exact date is coming soon. You can help by setting aside gently used clothing, toys, small furniture, and even houseplants or garden starts. And books. See Diane or Virginia for more information. And for more information and signups, please visit the foyer. You can find Zoom links and details about all our announcements in our weekly e-newsletter and on our website, sierracenter.org. And then we have a friendly reminder for everyone to please take a moment and silence your cell phones.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Whew, I just love that, all the things that we have going on. And now we invite Jessica Sunshine back up for another song. This is called Still Song.
So I was racking my brain trying to think of what I wanted to sing in this moment for this service. And it's not really a song with bones and meat on it. The concept is it's just an utterance of what my spirit is feeling. So I'm just going to sing stuff. And if you have anything in your body that you feel like you want to sing out or breathe out, I know sometimes when we're meditating, we, make a sound on the exhale. I want you to feel free to just utter your joyful sound or your sad sound or whatever you need to do. And so mostly this is for me because I know that I need reminding to be still. Here am I. Here am I wait with expectation. Here we are. We wait with expectation.
start with a sacred reading. Then we will do Om 3 times, sit in meditative silence, and then I will bring us out in prayer. So if we had a Bible, this would be it. This is the Science of Mind textbook by Ernest Holmes. And on the front, this is actually the complete edition with all of his works featured from 1926 to 1938. So Ernest talks to us about habit. Habits are formed first consciously thinking and then unconsciously acting. But few realize that when one consciously thinks, something must happen to his thoughts. What one thinks today will tomorrow be part of his memory, and since memory is active, what he thinks today as a conscious thought will tomorrow be submerged but active thought. This is how a habit is formed. First, it is a desire. Then it becomes the expression of this desire. Then the desire becomes subjective, and the subconscious action of thought causes it to be performed automatically. First, we control thought, then thought controls us. So I love that his words still ring true, and we can get spiritual food from Ernest here today. So now we will do our ohms. So I will ring the bowl 3 times. When I ring the bowl, breathe in, and on the exhale, Om. turn within to the innermost chamber of my being, that space of the divine that is all-knowing, all-loving, all-wise. That place within me that the world has never touched. That eternal spark that lives within each and every person hearing my voice right now. I know with it, this piece of the divine that we are, that it carries all the properties that it is. It is perfect love, perfect knowing, perfect power. It is wholeness. And I know that this wholeness of our being expresses right now and right here, that it shines through any resistance, any condition, any challenge, any setback, any shortcoming, any disappointment. That we can bring to it the presence within us to shine a light so bright that it burns away the condition, the sadness, the challenge, the fear, the despair, the smallness. And I speak my word knowing that now, right here and now, each of us is a beacon of light. And we are now shining it brighter and brighter and brighter in a world that needs our light so desperately right now. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And I know as this service unfolds, it unfolds in the wisdom and the love and the power of the divine, each and every heart being fed exactly what it needs through the music, through the message, through the fellowship. And so I give thanks. I give thanks knowing that we can always turn to this partnership with the divine that is in us, through us, and all around us. Thank you, good. Thank you, presence. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for always being with us on the journey and going out before us and preparing the way. For us individually and collectively, and for this center, the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living, a good idea in the mind of God and the mind of good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so I simply release the how to the divine to fix anything in our lives. We let go and we let good and we let God do what we cannot do in our human self. And we rejoice in it. And I let this word go, and together we say, and so it is. Blessed be.
I think the theme of Mitch's, according to the e-blast, which I now get, I believe is about reinventing yourself somewhat.
Stepping into your new identity.
New identity, yes. So this is a song that I wrote long ago based on travels between Phoenix and San Diego, and Yuma is the halfway point. Has anyone been there? I see that you left. That was good choices. So this song is about pausing and then moving forward. You'll be fine there in no time. You've driven this road about 1,000,000 times. Do you ever find what you hope to find? Be careful, my darling, it's so hot outside. But you'll be there in no time. If you get to Yuma, empty. Should I pull off the road and sleep it off? I'll do what I have to, but you must wait it. That highway's waiting. If you get to Yuma, you're halfway there to anywhere. If you get to Yuma, that road ahead is yours. If you get to Yuma, you can stop, but don't you stay there. Oh yeah, Yuma, that road is yours. Some things don't change, some things won't change, some become unrecognizable. Keep your hands on the wheel, your heart open, as big as the desert before your eyes. Your eyes, your eyes. If you get to Yuma, you're halfway there to anywhere. If you get to Yuma, that road ahead is yours. It's yours. Get to Yuma, I'll be waiting there. Oh yes, I will. Oh yes, I will. Yuma, that road is yours. You'll be fine there in no time. You'll be fine there in no time. Thank you.
Can we give it up one more time for Jessica Sunshine? She's teaching the kids. She's getting us to Yuma. What don't you do? What don't you do? Happy Sunday, everyone. Turn to somebody and say, glad you came. Glad you came. And everyone online, glad you came today. So we have teen camp coming up, and I'm stoked. Looks like we have 4 teens so far. One of them's in the sanctuary right now in the back. Be sure to meet DJ. And you wouldn't have seen him on Easter because he was in costume serving. I know. I don't want to spill all the beans. But we need to have a meeting for teen camp next week. So if you could meet me at the soundboard so we can get that nailed down after service and pick a date. The early bird registration ends May 1st. The other thing is we got to come up with about $1,500 for transportation unless somebody has a well-working van that can take us to Oregon, 6 people in luggage. So if that's you and you have something that we could take that will make it there and back safely, please see me after this service. May 3rd. I would like everyone in this room and online to please mark May 3rd. That's the first Sunday, and we've got to have a very important discussion. I'm going to do a quarterly report, and the first quarter isn't good. That's what you need to know. You also need to know that the parking lot come January of 2027 for the Vets Hall is going to be closed for 10 months. So we have some big decisions to make. Remember, this is not a me church. It is a we church. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, why should I come to that meeting? What could I say? What could I do? Just your presence in the room, that you care enough to show up, matters. It matters. Don't think your absence in this room doesn't matter. It does matter. People want to be where people are. And we need to start bringing in more of our family and friends so that we do have a future. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about spiritual principle, how to bring that to the table, how to raise our mental equivalent, because we want to see this center shine, yes? We want to see it grow, yes? It's changing lives, it's promoting people's dreams, and it's helping us all get through a very hard time in the world. So if you care even a little bit about the church, or if you care about me, show up. And I know people go, oh, it's potluck Sunday, bring a can of beans. Nobody cares, just show up. It's enough. We need your voice, and we need it now, right now, so we can turn the ship. Yes? Yes. Okay, all right. Let's go to some good news. Who wants some good news? I want some good news. The Danube River is coming back to life. Very important river. Fish and bird populations are coming back. The wetlands restoration is kicking in. And the biodiversity is up by 40%. That's huge. That's big. But here's my favorite good news. It might be your favorite too. Scientists are reversing memory loss. New therapies are reactivating silent neural pathways instead of just slowing decline. Isn't that great news? That is fantastic news. And I'm stoked because some of those need to be re-engineered here. So when did you decide who you are? We don't know. What do you mean? Feels like a rhetorical question, doesn't it? Right? Because someone handed us a story when we arrived, right? And here's your playing card, and this is who you are. If you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you always had powers, and you were a certain kind of creature. Well, they told you your gender, and they told you who your family was, and what your strengths were, and what your weaknesses were, and your roles, and your labels. Maybe you were the firstborn. Any firstborns? Yeah, you had to do all the right things and set the examples for your siblings, right? You got that on your story. Any youngest in the room? Yeah, you could get away with everything, right? It's okay, they're just the youngest, right? So all of these little memes start to shape our identity, and they start to cling to us. They start to cling like a costume. And then we're given more prescription for what we're to do in our costume. Well, you'd make a really good doctor or teacher, or maybe you should marry well, whatever you were told, right? And here's the thing. When you wear those labels and that costume long enough, it feels like a second skin over that authentic part of ourselves. You are not the costume. You're not any label. You're not anything anybody ever told you you were. You're so much more than that. You are the life inside that put it on. Carl Jung calls this the mask we build for life. And here's the problem. Most people die without taking that mask off and allowing that first skin to be lived in their experience. In fact, that book, The 5 Regrets of the Dying, anyone know that book? The number one regret I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. And here's the deal. Sometimes we think that the part of us that we want to be is out there, but it's not. It's in here. Neville Goddard says it this way: you are already that which you want to be. Your refusal to believe it is the only reason you do not see it. You are already it. It's not something to earn. It's not something to wait for. It's something to be remembered or recognized. And we see glimpses of it sometimes in others or in certain situations. I remember when I was 8 years old, standing way in the outfield on the softball field, looking at the middle of the field, and there was this person that always got the ball and was throwing it. And I said, "Who is that?" And somebody told me it was the pitcher. And instantly I knew that's what I was. I had never pitched a softball. I didn't know how to do it. I just knew that was me. Anybody ever knowing and you just said, "I know that's me. There's nothing out here that says it's me, but I know it's me." That's that self that we're looking to liberate. See, because what I know is there is seeds of knowing that are planted in our soul when we come to this planet to guide us in the adventure of unfolding. But it doesn't always feel like an adventure, does it? And here's the thing. We have to be brave enough to leave the old versions of ourselves and the costume and that second skin. We got to peel it away so a truer one can come forward, one that's more aligned with our inner knowing of who we are. And here's the thing. When you start to do this, people aren't always going to like it, right? Sometimes people get used to the version of you, and all of a sudden you're different. See, we get comfort from the familiar, and when the people close to us change, we get nervous. And sometimes we like the change, and sometimes we don't. And sometimes we don't understand it. Are you going to quit that safe job and try that dream? Whoa, that's dangerous. It's also dangerous never to live your truth. Which is more dangerous? Right? See, the key is to step into your new identity, which has always been in there. And we get kind of hits in our experience of what it is. And it's been living inside you, even though there hasn't been evidence always on the outside to support it. But when you step into it, when you play full out, when you commit fully to this inner knowing of your being, you are met with a success that defies logic. And not only are you met with a success that defies logic and how things start to show up and fall into place for you, but you become a beacon of light for others for what is possible. And we see examples of this. Anybody like the dog whisperer, Cesar Millan? Well, he was the precursor to the guy called the Dog Daddy on TikTok. And if you haven't seen him, he's really cool. He's amazing. He'll take this snarling dog and go, dogs like this. I wish I had that superpower. Anybody ever hear of Althea Gibson? Anybody ever hear of Althea Gibson? Yeah, a few people. First black woman to win Wimbledon tennis tournament. She inspired Serena Williams of what was possible. How about David Bowie? Any Bowie fans in the room? Yeah, he was wild, outside the box, crazy, wearing makeup like who, the world was not rooting for him. He inspired Lady Gaga. She was wild, right? Outside the box. And you know who inspired me? Reverend Dr. Georgia Prescott, an openly lesbian minister who made the Martin Luther King Morehouse Hall of Fame for ministers, showing me what's possible. That maybe a trans man could be a minister and be successful and be impactful. I might not be here without her. In fact, I know I wouldn't be. That's what's at stake. Not only shining our light and living life more fully, but shining it in a way that everyone else can. See, together we can support each other in transcending probability thinking, and embracing possibility thinking. You know who did this and did it really well? He stepped into possibility thinking and lived his true identity even though nothing out here reflected it. Anybody ever hear of Chris Gardner? Oh, well, you know him, and I'm going to tell you how you know him. See, in San Francisco in the 1980s, early 1980s, he lived in a subway bathroom stall with his son asleep in his lap. No home, no degree, no money. No home, no degree, no money, no connections. And every morning he would press his suit and walk into the most competitive financial firm in the city. Anyone know him yet? Getting closer? Okay. Unpaid intern of a pool of 20 interns. And that pool of 20 interns, Harvard, Yale, Northwestern, all educated like that. And only one was going to get hired. And see, each day he took off homeless, broke, invisible costume. And he stayed true to his inner vision, this knowing, this identity, and he'd say, I'm a stockbroker in training. That's what I am. And he was being it in his mind, in his bones, and the universe caught up. All matter of conditions changed and aligned with his knowing, despite the pedigree he was around. And at the end of the internship, out of 20 candidates, he was the only one hired. His circumstances didn't change first. See, if we're going to wait for something out there to tell us to move forward, we're going to wait a long time. His identity changed first. And the universe caught up. Not only did he become a stockbroker, success begets one more success. What movie was based on his life? The Pursuit of Happiness. Here's the thing. You cannot outperform your self-image. In fact, your brain won't allow you. It will knock you back down the minute you try to go above what you believe about yourself. And here's the thing. You can only be who you are. You know, it's a lie when we grow up. You can be whoever you want to be. No, you can't. You can only be who you are. In fact, you won't find peace until you are, and trust me, I've been down that journey in many ways. But here's what you can do that you don't want to do, that we often do, that I've done. I've underperformed, I've played small, I've avoided, I've minimized, I've deflected, I've rationalized, I've delayed, and I've avoided. Because sometimes our light feels so bright. And we ask ourselves, who are we to be that? I remember the first time I got up on the stage trying to do, who am I? Look at the trail of broken dreams you've been through, and you're going to inspire people? But it's because I have that journey that I can. And it's because of the journey you've had is why you can. Because here's the thing, you can run, but you cannot hide from yourself. You know, we're going to talk about how he did what he did and how you can do it too. And the number one key, as you suspect right now, is to live the new identity now, today, no delay. And it requires radical honesty, which we talked about last week. So go back to that one if you need help with radical honesty, last Sunday. But here's some steps. One, you got to take off the old skin. You got to burn the boats on the old self, because if you can go back, you won't go forward. I'm going to say that again. If you can go back, you will not go forward. 100%. However you do that. And I'll tell you, people who start businesses or become successful entrepreneurs, they burn the boats on their careers, on their 9 to 5. They literally go to the island and burn the boats. Number 2 is you got to work with your biology. You have some things in your nervous system. This is designed for survival, not thrival. It wants to go to the familiar, and the familiar isn't always helpful, is it? And number 3 is you want to reframe conditions as evidence. As evidence. I remember I had a big goal. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it did. The minute I said I was going to be a minister, this door flew open to speak at this community I'd wanted to speak at for 7 years. And they had some big speakers. They had Wayne Dyer. Oh, yeah. They had Greg Braden. Yeah, no, it's El Dorado Hills, hundreds of members. And I wanted to speak there for so long. So I said yes to my true identity, minister. Door flew open. I got an invitation. But here's what happened. The Saturday night before the Sunday I was to speak, I found myself in ER. I had a cardiac event. True story. And the doctor came and he's like, oh, we want to keep you overnight and we got to do this catheter thing and we want to look at your heart and blah, 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 blah. And I've been talking to the things and I said, well, I feel okay. I kind of have something important to do tomorrow. I said, how's my rhythm now? How's my enzymes now? Well, they're good. Great. I'm leaving. Against doctor's orders. Because here's what I knew, and here's what I want you to know. The minute you're about to break through to another level of your expansion, you will have the most resistance. And I didn't take it as, oh, it's a sign I shouldn't speak. Oh, no. You know what I took it as a sign? Breakthrough coming. Nothing's stopping me. And when I spoke, I got a standing ovation. And nearly everyone in the room stayed for my 2-hour workshop. And then they took me on to speak regularly for the next 5 years, and I actually helped direct their center. But what if I'd played small? What if I could go backwards? None of that would have happened. So I want you to pay attention. As you start to embody this new identity, stuff's going to come up. It's going to try and keep you down. Reframe it as evidence that you're progressing. So, most people think, try to think or buy their way out of their old identity. And here's some examples. Vision boards, affirmations, trainings and certificates, statements in the mirror. That's why a lot of people get coaching certificates and never coach, because they haven't embodied the new identity. See, these are all kind of like doing the thing around the thing, but not doing the thing. I know, strong medicine this morning, breathe. I'm not saying those things aren't helpful, but if you're not living as the person who, you're missing it, right? Self-sabotage can come in and we go back. It's like changing the fruit on a tree and not the root. Imagine you have an orange tree and you paste a peach up on there. You're not going to get more peaches. Got to change the root. We laugh at that, but that's exactly what we tend to do. Joe Dispenza says, if you want a new outcome, you have to break the habit of being yourself. Right? You got to break the habit, the patterns that you fall into. And I want you to think about something you want to call into your life. Maybe you want to be fit and healthy. Maybe you want to be more wealthy and better with money. Maybe you want to be an author. Maybe you want to have a beautiful garden. I want you to ask yourself right now, if I am that person right now, how does that person move through the world? How do they wake up in the morning? What are their habits? What are their practices? What are their choices? What don't they do that you're doing right now? And if you need help with that, find someone who is like your avatar. For me, it was Wayne Dyer. I was going to be the next Wayne Dyer. So I started doing what I thought Wayne Dyer would do. I started giving talks and writing stuff, and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know. But it didn't matter, because I was acting as the person who. And then, Ernest Holmes would say it this way, that the subjective mind is the creative medium through which ideas pass through for expression. That's why I read Habit today. It starts with our conscious mind. It gets embedded in our subconscious, and then it just starts out picturing? So we need to take on the answers to these questions. And you got to stop arguing with your old self because it's going to pop up, right? The minute you go to the gym and you need to lose some pounds, well, look at everyone else. They're so much more fit than you. Your old self is going to try. Keep you down because it's familiar. You got to starve it of attention because it'll say things like, I'm not ready. Who do I think I am? What if I fail? I'm going to be found out. You know, when I quit my 6-figure job in HR, all I had for my business was a name, Speak, Teach, Inspire, and a website. That was it. You think my head was screaming at me? It was. But I burned the boats. I wasn't going back. And 150 trainings later, over 3 years, I no longer feel like an HR person trying to do training. I am the trainer, right? When I first got up to do my first talk, I felt like a practitioner trying to be a minister. 3 years later now, I don't have that anymore. So you re-entrain your mind, your body, your nervous system into the new normal. And that's what we need to do. Because when we embody this feeling and we stay true to it, it acts as a solvent that dissolves the old costume from the inside out. That's what will create lasting change. Feel it until it becomes more real than the old story. Second thing we need to do is work with our biology. We get about 11 million bits of information, billions bits of information coming through our senses. And we have a filter in our brain, because we'd be overwhelmed if we took it all in, that only gives us about 40. And this filter decides what you need to pay attention to. And what you believe is what it will actually filter out and play match game with. Anybody have blue blocker sunglasses? The ones that filter out certain rays of the sun? Or better yet, you ever go to a 3D movie and you look at the screen, everything's blurry, but you put on those like red and blue or whatever glasses, and now it's like perfect sense? I want you to think of the red and blue glasses like your filter in your brain. So what you start embodying and believing, that filter starts to act on and find more evidence for. But you got to step into the new identity. Anil Seth, a British neuroscientist, says, we don't passively perceive, we actively predict. So we're not seeing reality as it is, we're seeing it as we are. That's why this stepping in to this part of ourselves as if it's true now is so powerful. And not only that, it activates Hebb's law. Donald Hebb. He says neurons that fire together wire together. Every aligned action literally builds a new brain. Literally. So when he was pressing his pants and he was putting on his suit, he was literally changing his brain to be in alignment with someone who's a stockbroker and goes to work every day. And that's why I asked you those questions. How does that person eat breakfast? What do they do in the morning? What don't they do? Don't wait to feel ready. Act and let the readiness follow. Don't fight the old pattern, just feed the new one. And your biology will rewire itself. When you truly step into a new identity, things will be hard at first. They'll feel uncomfortable. Anybody ever try to learn a new skill? I remember when I tried to learn snowboarding. Oh my God. It was awkward, but then I got better, right? Resistance intensifies. I ended up in ER. That was my resistance. Old voices get louder. Who are you? Just as you're about to have success. And what we're tempted to say is, I must be doing something wrong. But that's just your nervous system sounding the alarm for survival, not thrival. So, conditions are not truth, and conditions are old programming. We must not regard the conditions, but the principle. Thomas Troward tells us the principle, which is, it is done to us as we are. And we can never outdo our self-concept because we have something called cognitive dissonance. And that when we act out of alignment with who we believe ourselves to be, our brain puts us back into our lane. You know? You ever have people say, I'm not a smoker? When somebody says, I'm not a smoker, do they smoke? Do they smoke? No. When someone says they're a vegan, do they eat meat? No. Louder, Karen. Right? Your I am is your prescription to this new unfolding. And there will be lag, there will be resistance, there will be old processes running. But when you feel the lag, when you feel the resistance, when the old paradigms and voices come up, I want you to see it as a transition, as a threshold you're going through, not failure. When old conditions intensify, the new identity is becoming real enough to threaten the old one. Isn't that what we're seeing collectively in the world right now? Right? Everything plays out in patterns. We do, the world does, communities do. The detours and voices are confirmation that something is shifting. That is all it is. So the universe is always organizing around truth you choose to live from. It is always saying yes to your I am declaration. What I am is seeking, what I am in you right now is seeking to be remembered or recognized. Right now. There's some part of you that's knocking at the heart, the door of your heart. Maybe it's to be an author. Maybe it's to have a beautiful garden. Maybe it's to go on a special trip. Maybe it's to be more confident or have more friends or to change vocation. That is your real self wanting to be expressed. And how long has it been knocking? Maybe it's time to answer and step into this new unfolding of your soul. If not now, when? Because life is a gift of opportunity. You get to make up the rest. And I'll leave you with the inspiring words of Mary Oliver. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Blessed be. Thank you. Hey, who would like to make up an affirmation? Mitch forgot the affirmation. Well, if you will please stand, we will channel one. And you will repeat after me each line. I now release the old me. To step into the authentic me. I say yes to the knock at the door of my heart. And I allow the presence of Spirit to unfold me. And so it is. Oh, wasn't that fun? We'll do that more often. Okay, if you will, please have a seat and take your gift in your hand. And we do have some different ways for you to give. You can Sierra CSL to the number 44321. We also, on the back of the envelopes, have our QR code if you would like to give online. We do appreciate your gifts. They're very important to the success of the center. And let's read our intentional giving statement together. At some point. It will come back. I am manifesting the intentional giving statement on the screen right now. Almost. The other direction. You're going the wrong way. Okay, there we go. One more. Keep going. Oh, yay. Okay, let's say it together. I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and so it is. And let's just take a collective breath in. As we all focus our hearts and our intentions to these gifts. And we know that these gifts multiply like the fish and the loaves. They continue to expand this center's mission and all the good work that it's doing. And it comes back to the giver, pressed down, multiplied, and flowing over. For there is an endless flow of good, of God, of the currency of money running through all things. And we claim it as good. We infuse it with good. We infuse it with love. We infuse it with a world that works for all. We infuse it with healing. We infuse it with our highest intention for the healing of this world, knowing that it is our intention that is powerfully creative. So I give thanks for these gifts and these intentions. I release this word, and together we say, and so it is. Awesome. I want to thank our ushers, Javon and Pat. Give it up. Our candlelighter in training, Linda. Announcements. Give it up for Katie. It was her first time, too. Really give her some love. Streaming tech, Virginia and Katie. They're helping Achana out. She got today off, so thank you so much. Sound, Sharon. Sign placer, Virginia. Practitioner of the day. Children's Church, real loud, Carol. Platform hostess with the mostest, Rev K. And last and certainly not least, the Jessica Sunshine, musician. So what are you taking away from our experience together today? Happiness. Newness. Gratitude. Joy. Courage. What else? Inspired. Inspiration. Yes, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's welcome our children's church in. It's not plugged in. It's not plugged in. Look at the plug on the ground.
I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came.
All right, it's on.
We talked about growing and spring, and would you like to read our affirmation, Calliope?
I make things grow.
Oh,
right,
beautiful.
thank
Together, we see you, we love you, we're glad you're here, and we're here for you. Beautiful. If you will, please stand. We will do our benediction. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now. It's this thing called my first skin. It's this thing called embodied self. It's this thing called beacon of light. I know it. I feel it. I sense it. Because I am it. And so it is. Take it away, Jessica Sunshine.
peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Woo! Happy Sunday, everyone. Please stay for coffee and tea. Also, we're going to need at some point to push these chairs back because we're going to have our board meeting right here at 12:15. Teen people, teen parents, teen grandmas, come on over and meet me at the soundboard.